People are saying you're hyping this guy too much. You seem ready for all of them. Are you ready for all of them?
What do you reckon, Gareth?
I think you're ready. I think you're ready.
Tyson Fury has made a bold prediction regarding the future of the heavyweight division, suggesting that Moses Itauma is ready to take on anyone, including the reigning undisputed champion, Alexander Usyk.
Boxing is a young man's game. Like I told Vladimir Klitschko when he was 37. Boxing's a young man's game and it waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller.
Fury, no stranger to dominating the heavyweight scene, confidently declared that the 20-year-old Brit could comfortably beat Usyk, claiming that the young upstart would leave the older generation of fighters in his wake. With Fury's experience, including capturing every title in boxing, his opinion carries weight, but not everyone in the sport shares this view. Itauma's rise has been nothing short of explosive. Just this past weekend, he annihilated the experienced Dillian Whyte in under 2 minutes during their highly anticipated fight in Riyadh. Many had expected Whyte, a seasoned heavyweight, to give the young fighter a tough challenge, but Itauma made light work of him, securing his 9th consecutive knockout in the first 2 rounds. Whyte, who has gone toe-to-toe with heavyweights like Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora, and Alexander Povetkin, was simply no match for Itauma's blistering speed and power.
Happy, Mr. Davidson?
Yeah, look, pros, fantastic, fantastic event, headline against the British boxing legend, fantastic performance. Cons, we're still chasing those rounds, but hey-ho, like I said, very hard. I said with you guys, funny enough, this week, very hard for any heavyweight to get to 12 rounds with him. Very hard.
It's really weird, isn't it, that he might become a world champion without getting the rounds in even.
Yeah, like to go 12 rounds with him is a tough task. Never mind to bank rounds and, you know, all this, get to the second half. I've seen him start to walk people down and beat them up, head and body, breaking them down on the front foot. I've seen that side to his game, but to get to the second half while shipping that punishment along the way, it's a really tough task.
This latest victory has sparked a heated debate over whether Itauma is truly ready to take on the biggest names in the division. Fury, ever the advocate for youth in boxing, has been vocal in his belief that Itauma is more than capable of beating Usyk, despite the Ukrainian's vast experience and multiple world titles. Fury, in his usual flamboyant style, made it clear that the heavyweight division is ripe for a new generation of fighters and that the days of the older champions holding on to the belts are numbered. According to him, the future belongs to the young guns, and Itauma is at the forefront of that movement.
I keep getting asked about young Moses Itauma fighting Alexander Usyk and fighting other big names. And my opinion is not someone who don't know boxing. My opinion is someone who has been there and won every single belt, won everything there is to win in boxing, and done very well. Boxing is a young man's game. Like I told Vladimir Klitschko when he was 37. Boxing's a young man's game and it waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him. Because he's a young man versus an old man. An old man can't mess with young.
On the flip side, not all figures in boxing are in agreement with Fury's enthusiastic endorsement of Itauma's readiness. Some, like Carl Froch, have raised concerns about rushing the young talent into a fight with Usyk, a fighter with years of experience and a proven ability to handle the pressure of championship bouts. Froch, a former world champion himself, expressed caution, warning that throwing Itauma in with someone as seasoned as Usyk could be disastrous for his development. In Froch's eyes, Itauma's raw talent is undeniable, but his lack of experience, particularly in longer fights, means he could be overwhelmed by the endurance and ring IQ that Usyk would bring to the table.
Yeah, you can't rush Itauma. For me, if I'm managing Itauma, you're not chucking him straight in there with Usyk, putting in an old veteran who's got hundreds of amateur and undisputed cruiserweight and heavyweight title fights underneath him, chucking him with a 20-year-old young gun, because that could be the finishing of him, couldn't it?
His Excellency is a fan.
Yeah.
He's a fan, so therefore he wants what fans want. But he's not a coach, so therefore coach will say, no, this is best for the fighter. He's not the fighter, so he wants, he's in a position to try and get the dream fights. So, and you can't blame that because he's doing what he does. The managers and the trainers have got to do what they do, protect the fight or let you fight off the leash. So,
but for us, then it's going to be a Hrgovic fight. It's a step up. Yeah. Have another look at him, see where he's going, and then. Yeah. Build on from that, and maybe if Usyk's still around in a year or so, because he might be, because he loves the sport, then he's a training, he loves it. That might be a fight in 12 to 18 months. But for now, 20-year-old Moses Itauma with a performance like that, if he then steps in again and then steps up a little level against Hrgovic, because it would be a step up, demolishes him. It's going to be hard to match him up with anyone but a world champion. So we're going to see how the landscape changes and what opens up if a belt does become vacant.
How we can handle that responsibility. And so far, how he talks before, during, after, there was no badness between him and Dylan in the build to this fight. He was respectful. He said, you know what, I sent you a message when I was 14 years old to ask to spar with you. He was respectful and humble. I thought, I like that. And so it's just how he handles all this adulation, how he handles the business side around.
For his part, Itauma has shown an eagerness to take on big challenges. When asked about the possibility of facing Usyk next, he didn't shy away from the idea, expressing that he would be ready for the challenge. However, he did admit that his team is urging a more cautious approach, with an emphasis on gaining valuable rounds before stepping in with someone of Usyk's caliber. Itauma's team appears to be focused on building him up gradually, with a potential bout against the durable Jermaine Franklin being floated as a sensible next step. Despite his own ambition, Itauma's team is mindful of the need for him to develop further before facing the top of the division.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think if my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Amir Khan has also weighed in on the matter. Having been thrust into the spotlight at a young age, Khan knows all too well the pressures that come with early success. He advised Itauma to take his time and not rush into a world title shot, particularly against Usyk. Khan suggested that Itauma should focus on getting more experience, particularly in fights that go beyond the 6-round mark, before seeking out a match with someone as established as Usyk. Khan believes that at 20 years old, Itauma is still in the early stages of his career, and there's no need to rush into a world title fight that could ultimately be detrimental to his long-term success.
A fighter that could go all the way and is so young and has tons of time ahead of him. I mean, Itauma, he's got everything it takes to become a world champion, but a great fighter, like one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in my opinion. And the reason I said that is because to knock Dylan White out like that in just a round, wow, like the guy's a beast. I mean, I never expected that, because Dylan White doesn't go down easy. Dylan White is a beast, and he was the lightest he's been, so he thought maybe he's gonna have the speed, movement and everything. But the thing is, one thing about Dylan White, he has the power all the time in every fight, and that doesn't disappear. And guess what? He just walked right through him. You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old. And that's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders, or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on winning like this. I mean, if he'll keep on knocking him out, getting some good fighters, but not the world title level. I mean, what if he wins the world title at 21, what's he going to do then? He can't go backwards, you know what I mean? So
the notion of rushing a fighter's career is a topic that has sparked debate throughout the history of boxing. While some argue that a fighter's prime is fleeting and they should take advantage of their youth, others believe in the importance of building a fighter's skills and mental fortitude before putting them in with the best. Usyk, who has faced the best in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions, is a fighter who thrives on the big stage. His ability to make adjustments and wear down his opponents over the course of the fight makes him a dangerous foe for any up-and-comer, no matter how promising they may be.
We sat down in January at the beginning of the year and you said, by the end of the year he could be world champion?
Absolutely, I totally agree with it. I think you know, just if we can get maybe one in before December and then a big fight in December.
Joseph Parker, Ajit Caballero, who would you think?
They're not going to chuck names around. I don't think we need to. We're in a great position ranking-wise, but I think he's ready for the big guys now.
Alexander Usyk included in that list?
Absolutely.
Derek Chisora also spoke out against the idea of Itauma taking on Usyk so early in his career. Chisora, who has fought Usyk and other top heavyweights, believes that the 20-year-old would be overwhelmed by Usyk's experience and skill set. In Chisora's eyes, Usyk is simply too much for Itauma at this stage of his career, and he fears that such a matchup would end poorly for the young Brit. Instead, Chisora believes that Itauma should be matched with fighters who can provide him with the necessary experience, rather than being thrown into the deep end too soon.
When you look at the future for Itauma, what do you think about his next for him?
Next one, don't know. Depends with the paymasters. Where do you want to put him?
Okay, do you think Usyk's potential? Do you think there is a potential for him to fight Usyk?
Usyk could blow the smoke out. Usyk could kill him.
Despite the concerns from some quarters, Itauma remains an exciting prospect in the heavyweight division. His rapid progression has caught the attention of fans and analysts alike, and many are eager to see how far he can go. His impressive knockout streak and his ability to finish fights early have generated a lot of buzz, but there is still much to learn about his stamina and how he will fare against tougher opposition over the course of a full fight.
I've seen him spar Tyson numerous occasions and other people. Tyson said to me he's the future of the heavyweight division. We are now looking at a genuine champion who's going to hold this title for a number of years, for a long time. But there's another jump up after this, and that's not going to be easy. The Ajit Caballeros, your Joe Parkers, your Jarrell Millers. Who knows? Miller could be a name next for him. I don't know. I think the fight is Hrgovic. I think I'd like to see him fight Hrgovic. I think that's an unbelievable fight. I think you can make that happen. I think Turki Al-Sheikh can make that happen. I think it's a great fight and a big fight. Usyk's a different animal. You know, you're talking about, is that too quick? Oh yes, too quick for me. You know, I'm not his manager, I'm not his promotional team. He's got a great team round him, by the way. And at this stage of the game, Usyk would be a mistake.
Timothy Bradley also weighed in on the Usyk versus Itauma debate. While he acknowledged Itauma's incredible talent and potential, he expressed doubt that the young fighter is ready to face Usyk just yet. Bradley pointed out that Itauma has yet to go past 6 rounds in any of his professional fights, which makes it difficult to assess his ability to handle the later stages of a fight. Bradley said, "Hey Itauma, great job. Way to get it done and look spectacular, man. Yeah, young 20-year-old phenom, that's for damn sure. Great performance, but the young gun ain't ready for Usyk. He ain't done nothing yet to let me know. This dude ain't been past 6 rounds yet." What happens when you get him past 6 rounds? That's exactly what Usyk would do if he fights him. He would take him past 6 rounds, and then he will drown him. While Itauma's future is undeniably bright, it's clear that there's a lot of pressure surrounding his next move. Some want to see him face Usyk now, while others advocate for a more measured approach. Either way, it's evident that Itauma is one of the most exciting young fighters in boxing today, and his trajectory will be closely watched in the coming months. The question remains, will Moses Itauma be fast-tracked to a world title shot, or will he be given more time to develop before stepping into the ring with the elite heavyweights? Given his immense talent and the hype surrounding him, it's clear that the young British star is one to watch. But whether he's ready to take on Usyk or needs more seasoning is a debate that will continue to evolve as Itauma's career progresses.
I think that's a dreadful fight for Moses Itauma. I just think to throw this kid into the wolves at this stage so early in his career, I just don't get what for. He's a young man, let him develop the same as every other fighter, let him learn his trade.
In the meantime, the heavyweight division remains as intriguing as ever, with veterans like Usyk, Joshua, and Fury still dominating the scene. But with rising stars like Itauma showing what they can do in the ring, it's clear that the future of boxing's premier weight class is in good hands. As for Itauma, only time will tell if he's ready to make the leap to the top of the division, or if he'll continue to grow and develop before challenging the likes of Usyk. Regardless of the path he takes, one thing is for sure, Moses Itauma's journey is only just beginning.